I remember being in the studio the first time. Yeah, I was very excited. It was so different. I've never obviously done anything like that. John and Lou had, but that was totally new to me, and it was very exciting to be making a record. And it was fun, but it was also nerve-wracking. We only had 8 hours, so none of us wanted to mess it up or have to do it again or whatever, because we just didn't have the time for it. Thank God. I think if we had 2 weeks, it would not have been as exciting, the record itself, the final product. We discussed before that I think rock and roll that's too polished just loses half of what it's supposed to be. I always prefer, not shoddiness, but something that feels like there's some life to it, not like take 38, you know, and let's get this perfect. Like Creedence Clearwater. I hate Creedence Clearwater. Their records are perfect. And it's just, what fun is this? It's no fun at all. And I think our music too, a lot of our stuff, they were like Waiting for My Man. It could be 3 minutes, it could turn into 7. I think it affected the process or the result favorably, because we didn't have time for nonsense. We didn't have time to overdub a solo, for instance, or things like. And I don't think even in those days you had 4 tracks or 2 or something. So, so that shoots that theory. But I think we were also pretty spontaneous on stage, even with structured songs. A solo might last 12 bars, it might last 36, might last 52. So, not having a lot of songs like Waiting for My Man, for instance, there's a structure, of course, but in between verses, Lou could do what he wanted for however long he wanted to. And I think not having the time to redo and someone say, oh, listen, I did this and I did that, and oh, let's do it again. I think that, to me, that helps any band, not just us. I think it's much better. Rock and roll is supposed to be blast off and have fun, unless, you know, the drummer dies or something. In New York, recording the first album, we were all excited and happy to get these songs down or recorded, and it was very exciting. I'm sure Lou and John weren't as excited as I was, because for one thing, they, since they were, who knows, 12 years old, knew they wanted to be musicians, and so that, I'm not explaining this very well. It wasn't ever my goal to be a musician, so to me, suddenly playing drums in a band and being in a studio was really like, wow, you know. I do remember that Sterling's now wife, or his wife, was in the studio with us, and when we were doing Waiting for My Man, I wanted to put the drum on the floor because it sounded better. No, it didn't. That's not the reason. The stand would shake and you could hear it. So I put it on the floor, and Martha's job was to hold it because it started moving away while I was hitting it. So she's on the record too, in a way.